Welcome back to Daco, your home garden haven where charm and creativity grow. Today's episode is all about vintage magic in miniature form. We're creating a fairy garden using found objects that whisper stories of the past. Whether you have a tiny balcony or a corner on a windowsill, you'll be amazed at what's possible in small spaces. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Daco channel for more cozy garden inspirations. Hit the like button if you love vintage style, and don't forget to leave a comment below. We love hearing about your own fairy garden adventures. Alright, gather your teacups, chipped saucers, and imagination. Let's bring a little whimsy to your garden, no matter the size. Let's dive into vintage charm in tiny spaces. A fairy garden is a miniature landscape filled with tiny plants, adorable decorations, and just enough sparkle to attract imaginary woodland creatures. Think of it as storytelling through gardening. It's not just for kids, it's a nostalgic, magical project for gardeners of all ages. The best part? You can use items you already have lying around or discover little treasures at thrift stores and garage sales. Fairy gardens bring personality into small areas and turn them into charming focal points. Even a shallow dish or broken pot can become a portal to a world of enchantment. Start by picking your container. You don't need to buy anything fancy. Look for old teacups, baskets, wooden drawers, or even cracked bowls that would otherwise be thrown away. Vintage items add charm and texture. A rusty colander can become a mossy hilltop, while an antique birdcage might house a whole fairy village. Let your creativity be your guide. Make sure your container has drainage or that you add a layer of gravel at the bottom to help with water control. It's important your tiny plants don't sit in soggy soil. Every magical garden needs a story. Do you envision a woodland retreat, a seaside village, or a Victorian fairy tea party? Your theme will guide your choices in color, structure, and decor. Use vintage themes for extra charm. A rusted key, a porcelain doll's chair, or a faded matchbox can each inspire a tiny narrative. Keep your eyes open for inspiration everywhere. Once you have a theme, sketch a quick layout, even just a rough one. This will help you organize your thoughts and balance your design as you build it. Good soil is key to keeping your mini garden healthy. Choose a well-draining potting mix suited for your selected plants. Succulents, moss, or ferns all have different needs. Add a layer of small rocks or pebbles at the bottom of your container to help with drainage. This prevents root rot and keeps your tiny plants happy. You can even blend in some perlite or sand if you're using succulents. The goal is to replicate their natural growing conditions on a miniature scale. Choose plants that match your light and space conditions. Miniature varieties like baby tears, dwarf ferns, hens and chicks, and creeping thyme are perfect for fairy gardens. Low-growing or slow-growing plants work best. They maintain scale and won't overwhelm your tiny structures. Aim for a mix of textures and tones to add depth. Think vertically, too. A small rosemary sprig can mimic a towering pine tree in fairy scale. Little touches like that enhance the magical realism of your scene. This is where the magic really begins. Start collecting items from around your house, your garage, or local flea markets. Old buttons, keys, thimbles, and bottle caps can become fairy furniture or accents. An old spoon makes a great garden bench, and a chipped teacup could serve as a tiny bathhouse or fairy pool. Think creatively, anything small and weathered has potential. These found objects give your garden that unique, vintage feel. Plus, reusing items keeps your project sustainable and budget-friendly. Create a miniature cottage from sticks and bark, or use a seashell as a roof for a fairy hut. Popsicle sticks, bottle corks, and fabric scraps can become doors, fences, or even laundry lines. Glue and natural twine are your best friends for these tiny builds. Avoid hot glue outdoors, it can melt in the sun. Use waterproof adhesives for lasting results. The imperfections are part of the charm. Don't stress about getting things perfect. Whimsy often lies in the wonky and well-loved. Every good fairy garden needs a way for the fairies to travel. Create winding paths with sand, pebbles, or crushed shells. These define space and bring life to your layout. Use twigs or moss to border pathways and create movement through your garden. This adds a sense of realism and invites curiosity from viewers and guests. Remember to layer your elements, have a focal point, like a cottage or tea table, and build outward from there with balance in mind. Add a touch of sparkle with tiny LED lights or solar fairy lights. These make your garden magical at night and highlight the details you've lovingly created. You can wrap lights around miniature trees or place small tea lights in vintage lanterns for a soft, warm glow. Battery-operated lights are perfect for smaller containers. Even reflective materials, like bits of mirror or broken jewelry, can create the illusion of light and shimmer, especially in daylight. If your fairy garden will live outdoors, it needs protection. Choose materials that can withstand rain and sun, or bring your garden indoors during harsh weather. Seal wooden structures with non-toxic varnish and avoid paper elements that could disintegrate. Keep fragile items like vintage porcelain out of direct rain. If possible, place your garden in a covered area like a porch or under a plant shelf. This keeps it sheltered while still being visible and magical. Keep the magic going year-round. Switch up decorations with the seasons. Autumn leaves, tiny pumpkins, or a snow-dusted house can keep your fairy world alive all year. In spring, add pastel flowers and egg-shaped pebbles. Summer is perfect for tiny beach scenes with sand and shells. Let your fairy garden evolve like nature itself. Use each season as a chance to freshen your layout and engage with your garden again. It's a living storybook that's never really finished. This is a magical project to share with little ones. Involve children in the building process. They'll love collecting pebbles, planting moss, and designing tiny scenes. It teaches creativity, responsibility, and a love for nature. Give them a designated section in your garden or their own little dish to care for. Fairy gardens offer endless storytelling opportunities. Each tiny object can spark a tale, a game, or a spark of wonder in their imaginations. Get crafty. Make your own tiny furniture from twigs, beads, and buttons. A walnut shell becomes a cradle, while matchsticks can be fences or frames. Use recycled materials too. Wine corks, broken jewelry, or soda can tabs can become tables, signs, or fairy wings. The possibilities are endless. Set aside a crafting box just for these miniature projects. Having a dedicated collection of tiny tools and parts makes spontaneous fairy building easier. There's nothing like a dusty thrift store to uncover fairy garden gold. Look for old drawer knobs, cracked figurines, or lace doilies. Each can become a scene element. The charm of vintage objects lies in their imperfections. A tarnished spoon or chipped tea plate adds character and tells a story. Incorporating these pieces gives your fairy garden authenticity. You're not just planting, you're curating a tiny world full of nostalgia and wonder. Fairy gardens, while tiny, still need love. Water as needed depending on your plants, and trim overgrowth to keep everything in scale. Check for mold or decay, especially if your garden is outdoors. Clean decorations gently and refresh paths or gravel as needed. Think of it like a dollhouse or bonsai. It rewards regular attention. A few minutes a week keeps the magic alive and thriving. Thank you so much for joining us today at DACO. We hope this whimsical journey into vintage fairy gardening has inspired your next project. Whether you're planting on a windowsill or a backyard nook, there's always room for a little magic. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more dreamy gardening ideas, hit that like button if this video gave you ideas, and comment below with your favorite found object or fairy tale theme. We love hearing from you. Until next time, keep planting joy and tending wonder. This has been DACO, and we'll see you in the garden again soon.